Oh, hey, I don't know if this is bright or not, or too far away, or whatever. You know, it's just one of those days. And with all the different changes that are going on, wait a minute. All the different changes going on, issues, fall. The biggest thing, and it was rather interesting, is to know that the body is a thought. It is as we create. We want things to go ahead and disintegrate in us, which is called death, to transform into light. It is all by training yourself or retraining yourself to the patterns of what we really have been put here for. It's kind of crooked. I gotta get comfy here. It's been a while. I was down for 2 days. Many things going on, but anyway. Holidays or whatever, but people are feeling the brisk of the cool here and the changes that are going on. Many places around the world are rising and lowering. The weather definitely has changed. Muffler service hasn't. Just to the idea that it is, let's see, October 12th, 2010. Or is it the 13th? It's the 13th. Because I don't make time relevant, but today I know it was the 13th after I remembered it wasn't the 12th. And it's probably about 6:15 right now, maybe 6:30. I don't know. The sun is going down. Now the video news is, of course, that there's elections coming up and going on, which is a fallacy. There's UFOs, but humans in our government has had technology 20 years before we're seeing it. So it's rather childish, but people are falling for it because I guess that's just the way it goes. For so much has been denied our civilizations to the point of where the peace was not created. We really got to look hard and find it, because that's the whole key to the Grand Cross is coming up on 12/21/2012. By the minutes and seconds and stuff like that, I really haven't a clue, because I've never dwelled in cosmic astrology, just our little universe here. And it's just amazing that people are wanting their spirit. They are wanting to know the difference. That we manifest through our thoughts what our body is, which is how we react through the senses. So once we calibrate to the one source, the one divinity, the holy instant, by some call it, the connection is that you know. So you must utilize and produce and do the ingredients to manifest a better you. Because the funny thing is if you're a better you, and you're just anywhere, it betters everything else. Instead of building a shadow of shame, pity, fear, guilt, sin, other things of those natures. Well, sin, it says we didn't hit the mark. Well, guess what? We're all learning. How can you hit the mark? And if you think you're a sinner, then you're creating derogatory statements in your mind, and your body's going to react, and then you're going to wonder why your knees give out. Oh, wait a minute here. Now, of course, that doesn't make sense to me, but I'm sure there are parts and pieces that I don't make sense to others, too, because that's what I just went through a little bit ago with an old dear friend coming up because of the new conscious realities that are being set in her place that she's trying to fathom in her mind. So she can become more familiar with her spirit self instead of her physical self, because we've all been taught our physical self is the most vital and the most important. Well, it is, but the only way to have it as such is by teaching, training, utilizing, and providing good stuff from the mind thoughts. So the manifestation of the without is created and loved and used from the within. And that so much of our life, of our spirit and our spark of the divine, is basically breath, consciousness, listening, not just putting out there, but bringing in as well, surveying, watching, just... And you don't have to analyze it all, people, because that gets in the way of the enjoyment of the now for what it could be or is. We're here to bring the women and the children to the forefront. And I know it's not easy, but we really all need to find the hum. I don't know which Moody Blues it is, but there's one of them, and it says, and they said, and that's really the whole trick here, is to find your inner hum, so the rest of the hums can harmonically vibrate in a peaceful, joyful, non-expective existence. Because the one we've been taught has been the dark lie of putting the rest of us into a why me, poor me, me. And the poor children who actually expected that things would be the way that we thought we could have created them, but the dark still got in there. Good old commercialism, good old religion, good old ideologies that just didn't manifest anything but hate and war, like our government. I know, I'm not supposed to speak out about them. I apologize. My government has been taking very good care of me. I honor and cherish all life of every aspect, that it be right, wrong, good, bad, ebb, flow, in, out, up, down, whatever. I'm not trying to derogatory anything, anyone or anybody. Okay, so that is a passenger jet. It's only got 2. It's a big one. They normally don't fly over here in this close, but it's heading south. So maybe Charlotte or somewhere. Interesting occurrences everywhere. But I don't deny anybody their right to have their existence the way they felt it's supposed to be. But the wake-up call is now, for everybody to see how far down we are and we've become, where we're not even having a worthiness of being here. That's just downright bullshit. So we need to crack that shell of the bullshit and get, well, let's grow some mushrooms first. Yeah, shrooms, let's do some shrooms. But, if by the sake of the truth can outshine for one instant the dark, ugly lie of what places fear and illusion and idlehood and dishonor and murder, and the list can go on, but I don't want to go there anymore. For it's all in the hum, people. The the zenning it. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it or have said it, but it is true. Find your inner hum, you know. When you think like you're gonna have an anxiety attack, bring yourself back to center, okay? Bring that spark of light, of essence into being, ASAP. In earth as in heaven helps too. In the hum. And this is counterclockwise spirals, but it's now time to utilize your magic and the power that you have had as a child. A child knew how to play and do all and take care of those things, and they just kept on going. Little energizers are bunnies. But once we've taught them to inhibit, limit, and judge things, then all that's been going down the tubes too, let alone our food sources and the other environmental tragedies that have occurred and are occurring. But we can't take any of it personally, and I know I keep repeating myself, but, you know, tough. We can't take any of it personally. We can only react in a loving and forgiving manner so it doesn't manifest more ugly. Everything has its value. Everything has its placement. And the more you believe and put intent on something, the more it becomes. So you can will it to you just by your thoughts, either to them denial, victimhood, I'm not good enough, or any other kind of essence like that. You have to look at your internal dialogue and stop using it. If it doesn't benefit you, you need to try and get it removed, one way or another. And I know none of this is easy. I understand. I am a spirit in a human body. A spirit in a human body having a spiritual soul experience. And we all are. So, and I have to catch myself a lot too, because some of this stuff is so instilled within us that we don't always recognize it. Like somebody says, take care. I don't want to take any cares. What do I want to care for anything? Or have cares about? Or over? Or because? Because all that does is inhibit you from giving and sharing. If you're taking, and I'd rather give and share than take. I had a hug the other day that was a miracle hug. So I did take that lovingly and openly and thankfully, but I also give it back, you know. My hands are getting cold. It's probably going to go down to the high 40s. New moon coming up. So all the depleting and eliminating, it'll be in Libra. So you'll be able to clarify and see what maybe your judgments are. Are you overjudging? Are you accusing? Are you disrespecting? Showing no gratitude? Not being your true self, thinking you're having to play another role that society wants you to play? Because that's probably one of the most damaging things you can consider too. And no matter what's manifesting or manifests, keep the unconditional love for all, no matter what. And love yourself too. Find that inner love for yourself. Because you know what? It's just a big party and play and game. Even though it seems to be a journey with a lot of rocks and logs across the path and things like that, be inventive, get creative, work through it, around it, under it, over it, however you can do it, and keep going. We weren't put here for no unapparent reason, even though it seems like we might have been. But I've not been in control. Each one of my 3 children's birth control babies. When the universe brings a spirit and soul down on this planet for its lessons and its purpose and its direction of light, then it happens. It doesn't matter what you want to think about trying to do. I'm thankful for that, actually. We are just at a crucial or critical or crux or cusp or whatever you want to call it, to actually start community sharing as per se for life-giving and being. Barter and trade, no fighting if at all possible, and trust your intuition most and foremost over anything that you hear outside yourself from anybody, anything, or except nature. Nature you need to listen to. She's the one that's the most important ingredient here, and people just don't realize that. But anyway, it's getting dark. I really just don't want me being in the dark here, because I'm sure that it's dark here. So it's later, guys. Ciao. Maybe. Can I do it? Can I